Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. So, Hollywood Reporter sat down and discussed things with the Fallout on Amazon Prime creators about Season 2. So we're going to take a look at it. Here it is. Fallout creators, they answer 5 burning questions about their Season 2 plans. I thought this would just be interesting. I really liked Fallout. So, it's not all doom and gloom here. I really like Fallout, and this looks like a really, really good article. There's some interesting stuff in there. And it's worthwhile taking a look at. So, yeah, hit subscribe if you're new here. Turn the bell notifications on. It's 2 days old. I am sorry it's a bit late getting to it. There's a lot of content released yesterday. Anyway, let's take a look. So, Fallout creators answer 5 burning questions about their Season 2 plans. Now, the showrunners are Genevieve Robertson-Durrett and Graham Wagner. And they say this tackles several spoiler-free questions about their upcoming season. I think that the take-home, which you probably would have seen floating around, is that they're working on it and they're going to try and bring it out as quickly as possible. But they're not rushing it. So they are working on it, not rushing it, trying to bring it out as soon as possible. You know what that tells me, straight off the bat, is that Amazon Prime did not quite realise what they had. Which is quite comical, isn't it? Because there's so many movie studios out there that they're so confident with some things. They're like, yeah, we've greenlit a sequel, we're ready to go. We've got, an inbuilt universe. We've teased the next 10 films in this one film. And then it drops and you're like, my God, was that written by, a child with, I don't know, like amnesia or something like that. Like, it's the most appalling pile of junk. And then this comes out and they're like, we're Season 2, shit, we need to get on that. It is interesting. The highs and lows of Hollywood, eh? But anyway, it says this. Fallout launched 2 months ago with a big question hovering over it. Could another post-apocalyptic streaming drama based on a video game also become a hit after the success of HBO's The Last of Us? Any doubts were quickly erased, with Fallout racking up a 92% average positive review score on Rotten Tomatoes and breaking Prime Video streaming records with its sprawling tale of 3 very different survivors, played by Ella Purnell, Aaron Clifton Moten, and Walton Goggins, navigating a nuclear wasteland amid moments of graphic violence and offbeat humour. And it was funny as well, because there were so many people that were like, the critics were like, it's not very good, man. And it came out, and we're like, this is great, what are you talking about? Clearly never played the games, dickhead. Anyway, it says this. The popularity of the show is an immense surprise. That's from the showrunner? What? Hollywood is so incredibly dumb. They're like, it's a surprise because we didn't put messaging in it. Like, fuck. Anyway. The popularity of the show is an immense surprise, Graham Wagner said during a recent THR Presents panel, powered by Vision Media. We didn't make this show for everyone, we made it for ourselves, and that was an important part of the approach. But you never know how that's going to go. Right, okay. Now showrunners Wagner, Genevieve Robertson-Durrett are taking a break from preparing Season 2, quite literally stepping out of the writer's room for this interview, to look back on their show's debut season and also answer some burning questions about future seasons. Below are 5 highlights from the spoiler-free Season 2 portion of the chat. So let's take a look, right? The show suggests the what shapes the soul of somebody is how long they've been in the wasteland. Lucy pushes back on this, saying to the ghoul, I may end up looking like you, but I'll never be like you. But really, if she was out there for 200 years, like he was, it's hard to imagine her altruism remaining unchanged. That is the question. Is it true? Will Lucy be able to hang on to her core? It's sort of a nature versus nurture question. Has her time in a happy, cosy vault steeled her against that? We will find out. Oh, interesting. What we're already into Season 2 is exploring how far we want to push this character. How much do we want to see her hang on to herself? It becomes the game of the show on its own way. And they add to this. Lucy's been out there a few days. Maximus has been out there 20 to 30 years and the ghoul 200 years. That's why Maximus is a character who's more conflicted than the ghoul about violence. He still hopes to do the right thing, but he knows how hard it is and he's willing to do some immoral things in order to ultimately do the right thing. So basically trying to say that, yeah, Lucy probably would become like the ghoul, but still interesting nonetheless. What specifically did you learn writing the first season and then watching how the results played out and fan reactions that you can apply to the second season? So they say this. So many things were discovered in the writing, shooting, and in post. It was a huge relief to us to know that Ella is an incredible performer who made sure that Lucy is not annoying. I like that. Because it could be, that character could be annoying. We were very scared that our main character was a bit annoying because she's a very privileged person, and we kind of resent her for that. She comes from the world of haves and she goes into the world of have-nots, and she certainly starts the season thinking she knows better than them and being a little judgy of the people she meets for what they are willing to do to survive. Knowing that people are open to Max being a morally ambiguous character is always appreciated, but what I'm really excited to continue season 2 is that blend of tones, that this show can have sitcom moments that are juxtaposed with people shooting each other. Why didn't they comment on the ghoul? Anyway, I'm sure there's a cooler way to say follow your bliss, but that's sort of what it was. We wrote things because we wanted to write them and shoot them, and if it ever felt like a scene was a drag, we're like, well, let's not write it. So we just continue to try to make our own personal and collective joy govern decisions as we move forward. Not always the right decision, by the way. It says this. Director Jonathan Nolan said with season 2 that it will be playing in the same space but not necessarily with the same elements. Yet the end of the season 1 seems to set up a storyline that continues pretty directly from where you left off. How much is the second season a reset versus a continuation? Don't do a bloody reset. Don't do a reset at all. I think what Jonah was maybe alluding to is there are 25 years of Fallout games. There were so many things that we were not able to put into the show that we really desperately wanted, that are either brilliant ideas for characters, creatures, set pieces. We're always going to be bringing in new things for the Fallout mythology as we move forward with the show. You've joked about the show having hundreds of seasons. What's your ideal number of seasons? Well, this is interesting. It says this, we've talked about 1 billion seasons as a jokey way to evade the question because we don't control that. So our hope is to end every season with a semi-satisfying, semi-open-ended kind of shape. That's great. That's good. Good. Look, we've talked about 3 seasons and we've talked about 5 seasons. Given the success of the show, 5 is suddenly feeling a little more appealing. But the industry is a temperamental thing, and we kind of have to go into each season being like, this is our last. That's the right approach. That is the right approach. We could be replaced by robots by season 5. Oh, Digger AI, I like that. You guys are moving the production from New York to California for the second season. How will that impact things? I think the audience is going to find the lack of strain on personal lives palpable. I feel like this is going to be relatively smooth sailing because we have so much great desert right here in California. We're going to start scouting locations we literally can drive to from the writer's room. But also, less grey skies. That was tricky about New York. We were shooting partially in the summer and partially in the middle of winter. And some of those exteriors, the grey skies, they're just not as beautiful. There's a reason filmmaking came to Southern California. Interesting. And a little bit more. We wrapped in early February. It's a miracle to find scenes weren't covered in snow. Global warming saved us. I'm sure Prime Video is eager to get the new season on the air quickly. What's your guess for the new episodes? Late 2025, 2026? Non-binding guesses, we won't hold you to it. So here's the thing. The internet has an interesting habit of making non-binding statements binding, so I'm hesitant to give a date that will be taken out of context and live on Reddit for a year or so. But we're going as fast as we possibly can, and we've got a lot of heavy lifting from Season 1 already done. We have sets, assets, visual effects that are already done. We're hitting the ground running this season. We're going to be pedal to the metal to get Season 2 out as fast as humanly possible. And there are so many things we wanted to do in Season 1 where we were like, that would be amazing, let's do that in Season 2. So it feels like we're so much farther along, and it's honestly really exciting. And we're just grateful to have the opportunity to bring to the screen all the things that didn't quite fit in Season 1. We're excited to get to now do those now. What a great interview. And lots of positive stuff. The fact that they want to end each season on an open-ended note with a close, though, as if it could continue, but if it ended, you'd be happy. That's the right approach. Good. I'm very happy about this. Long live Season 2 of Fallout. I'm game for it. What do you guys think? Let me know. Cheers. Take care. Bye-bye now.